You wouldn't believe the amount of stories teachers send me where a child in their classroom has threatened them, threatened another student, physically assaulted them, and then they are back in their classroom like the next day, or they're sent back with like a treat or a lollipop. If you've ever experienced anything like this, you will relate to today's story. Hi Lauren, I have a story to share. I've been following your account on TikTok since you first got started, and I never imagined that I'd be in your inbox one day because I've been pretty lucky with my teaching job up until this point. I'm a middle school English teacher. A couple months ago, I was monitoring our application called Lightspeed that allows us to see what our students are doing on their computers during our class time. I noticed one student was watching movies when he owed me over 10 assignments that he was supposed to be working on. I simply closed out his tab and did not even send a message. He proceeded to open a new tab and type messages to me in the Google search bar. These messages were violent death threats. I'm not even going to read them because of how ugly and horrific they are, but just like imagine the worst things ever. He also proceeded to call me disgusting names. I took screenshots of these messages and sent them to admin right away. They removed the child from the premises immediately, and he was given nearly 8 weeks of OSS. I was required to repeat all of the things he said to me at his superintendent hearing. A police report was filed on my behalf by the school resource officer. Throughout this process, I was assured that when/if the child returned to school, he would not be going back into my classroom. The child has been in the district for 1 year and has over 10 referrals, all for similar violent language. This is the third time he has threatened a teacher's life. Last week, I was notified by my assistant principal that the principal is now saying that there's no other option but for this child to return to my class. I expressed that I was not comfortable with that and that I fear for my and my other students' safety. The child is over 6 feet tall and is older than the other students in my class. My principal pulled me out of my classroom during a study hall and spoke to me in the hallway about this child returning to my class. I again expressed my discomfort and concern for my safety. She brushed this aside with a statement kind of like, you knew what you were getting into at this school. I also expressed my concern that the child does not have an IEP and that he is in the wrong placement, like he needs more support. The principal said that I should have initiated this process if it was a concern. I have only been in this district since January of this year. The assistant principal requested that I join the child's reentry meeting, and the principal stated that this was never a request but a compulsory meeting for me. She said that she had a plan and that she wanted to use my presence to provoke a reaction from the student. I reached out to my union about this immediately, and they were unable to negotiate a satisfactory solution to having the child be taken from my roster. The principal is insisting he returns to my class and will not hear other options. When the student threatened the previous teachers, he was removed from their classes. I believe that I'm being taken advantage of because I'm new, untenured, and young. During the student's re-entry meeting, the principal started off the meeting by having everyone go around and say something positive about the student. I surely thought that she would skip me, as I never had received as much as an apology from the student. How naive of me. She put me on the spot and made me say something nice about the child that violently threatened my life. The only thing I wanted to say was that his threats were creative, but I left it at creative. She then made me go into more detail. She also confirmed during the meeting that he will be re-entering my class. I was supposed to be returning to school today, but I have been so stressed and losing sleep over the situation that I've come down with pneumonia. This is terrible. We have 18 days left of school, and I can't even stomach the idea of having to teach a class while having to watch my back and fear for my and my students' safety for that long. During this re-entry meeting, he was asked what things set him off, and he replied, "It could be anything." And when they asked what things specifically, he said, "None." The kid showed no remorse and was clear that he would do it again if something happens that he doesn't like. The principal was unbearable during the meeting and texted me under the table to breathe with a heart emoji. I do not make nearly enough money to put up with this. My story is not unique. I am not the first, nor will I be the last. Please know that this is happening so often. Please know that there are teachers whose lives are being threatened, who are not receiving the support that they should. It's just a horrible situation because the child needs support, the teachers need support, and nobody's getting it. And then horrible things happen, like, what happened in Virginia. And my heart just breaks for these classrooms and these teachers and these students. How about all the other students in the classroom who are just trying to learn and just want to go to school and be safe, and they can't because, I don't really have words for this one. If you are a teacher in this situation, please take care of yourself. And if you are a parent of a child who is in a classroom like this where there's violent behavior happening and nothing is being done, please speak up. Speak up for teachers, for the other students, for your child. Because unfortunately, a lot of times things don't get done if teachers are speaking up, but if the parents step up, things start to change. I just hope this teacher takes care of herself, and I hope that, yeah, this one's a tough one.